You have to have a sharp memory.
Ben Jarvis, great stuff. We appreciate the time as always. Good luck this season.
Thank you.
Ben Jarvis, Green Ellis with us here live at New England Patriots training camp. Quick timeout, 2-minute drill. Then Danny Woodhead going to join us live at Patriots training camp.
Sirius XM NFL Radio, 2-minute drill.
Philadelphia Eagles star receiver Deshaun Jackson yesterday ended his 11-day holdouts reporting to training camp. Jackson disgruntled about the final year of his rookie deal. It's set to pay him just $600,000 this year. He was there for the walkthrough yesterday afternoon. Meanwhile, Denver's quarterback situation has Kyle Orton as the number 1, Tim Tebow as the number 2, and Brady Quinn as 3. Now, Orton has been taking almost all of the first-team snaps, with Tebow and Quinn sharing work with the second and third teams. Now, our training camp tour yesterday stopped in with the San Diego Chargers and Detroit Lions. Chargers head coach Norv Turner telling SiriusXM NFL Radio that he's been making plans for Malcolm Floyd.
When we signed Malcolm Floyd the other day, someone reminded me that Malcolm Floyd, Antonio Gates, and Vincent Jackson stepped on the field together one time last year, one of our 16 games. So when you see those three guys out there together, it gets real exciting.
As for Detroit Lions head coach Jim Schwartz, what do you need to do to get Matthew Stafford to the next level?
The big thing is been surrounding him with weapons, and make him comfortable in everybody that he has can make a play. Matt obviously is leader of our team and is going to make plays for us. But I think part of that is confidence that he doesn't have to make every play.
Also, Arizona Cardinals Pro Bowl safety Adrian Wilson has a torn muscle in his biceps, but wants to try to play through it. However, he also now plans to get a second medical opinion to see if the damage is any worse than what the first doctor told him. Yesterday, Coach Ken Whisenhunt saying that he would give no timetable for Wilson's return, but does expect him to play this season. And the New England Patriots have bolstered their defensive line, announcing they've signed defensive ends Andre Carter and Sean Ellis. With SiriusXM NFL Radio, I'm Dan Lang.
SiriusXM NFL Radio, 2-minute drill. The ultimate season preview. SiriusXM NFL Radio's Training Camp Tour 2011. It's the SiriusXM Blitz. Here are your hosts, Adam Shine and Randy Cross.
Excellent stuff out of Ben Jarvis, Green Ellis, and Randy. Look at this guy. One of our favorites, Danny Woodhead, is with us here at Gillette Stadium inside New England Patriots training camp. Danny, good to see you. Adam Shine, Randy Cross. How are you?
I'm doing good. It's it's good to get back at, practicing and being in training camp. It's a lot of fun.
Don't let him fool you, Danny. He thinks you should still be a Jet.
I think they still think he should be a Jet.
I don't know. I'm happy with where I'm at.
Hey, a lot being said, you had a fabulous 2010, the way you plugged into this offense, the way they found a role for you, and a lot of the way you were used is what other teams around the league started taking more of an approach in the running game when teams are in that spread formation, using the run, taking advantage of the space. There's a lot of college coaches out there running the spread that say, hey, they've got to defend 50-some-odd yards wide. Why not take advantage in the running game, too? Can you talk a little bit about running when you're in that formation?
Honestly, there's so many different formations we can be in, but the coaches do a great job of putting people in great positions and giving people good opportunities. And, I'm just trying to take advantage of any time I may touch the ball or any time that I may be in on any play, whether it be blocking, running my route. I'm just trying to do the best thing that I can to help this team out.
And indecision doesn't seem to be something that's part of your basic nature, because you're a point A to point B runner, aren't you?
I try to just get upfield and maybe make a cut, but I don't know. I just try to react and do whatever I can best when I have the ball.
I'm curious. At some point, maybe in February or March, did you have a moment and pause when you look at last year for you? I mean, you're in training camp with the Jets. They try to slide you through waivers as they activate David Clowney for week number 1. You go to the rival New England Patriots. You become an integral part of the success of a 14-2 team, and now you have a home in New England for the foreseeable future. I mean, that was a crazy, I got to believe, experience for you last year.
It was different. It was a little hectic, but I'm just, I'm just trying to get better at what I do. So, I'm really not looking back on it. And I haven't looked back on last season much because I'm focused on the present. And I know people probably get tired of hearing it from me, but I'm focused on our next meeting or our next walkthrough. That's just the approach that I like to take.
How unusual has it felt for you with the lockout and everything else, sort of the lack of input, the lack of information, and suddenly, bam, you are right back in regular season training camp, meetings mode, and everything that happened before just sort of suddenly you have to be able to shut that off and make it disappear?
I think we're professional athletes, and whenever we're supposed to be ready, we're supposed to be ready. And that's the way I tried to approach it, and just come into camp, try to do whatever I can. And the lockout, that's the past. That's not something that anyone can worry about. What everyone can worry about is, getting better every single day, and that's what we're trying to do.
The critic or the skeptic says, well, I want to see Danny Woodhead do it again. Are you motivated by that talk?
Honestly, I don't listen to it.
Yeah.
Because that's not my goal, never will be my goal to what Danny Woodhead does. We're trying to be the best football team that we can be. And I don't want to ever focus on what I do with the ball or anything like that. I want to focus on whatever my job is, that play I want to do to the best of my ability.
How did you train for this coming season, football specific? What kind of drills, what do you do to make the whole fact, and you can never really anticipate getting hit. You can't train for that. But the stopping and starting, the cutting, the moving, that sudden jolts to your muscle, that it's really hard to train unless you do specific drills, isn't it?
I think just what you said. You just got to do the stuff that you may do in practice for a game. But I tried to work as hard as I could. But we're in training camp, and I try not to think about the past at all. That's just who I am, and I'm more concerned with what we're doing right now and what we can do right now to get better.
All right, you say focus on the now, what you can do to get better. Tell me about that. What can the Patriots do? You have this great 14-2 season. You lose to the Jets in the playoffs. What can the Patriots do? What can you do to get better from last year?
I don't think we're looking at last year. I think maybe what can we do to get better every single day in practice right now, or the knowledge of our offense. So really, I think just everyone collectively probably just try to get better every single day. So we're ready for the next challenge, and which right now is the next practice or meeting.
Well, this football camp, this particular training camp in preseason, is almost an advantage for you because it's always a force-feeding session. And Adam mentioned last year you come onto this team in week one. That was they took a fire hose, put it in the side of your head, and said, "Here comes a playbook." But most guys are going through that same experience right now without off-season stuff. So you're kind of used to that, right?
It was a little crazy last year, and like you said, we did get thrown into it after the lockout was done, we just got to make sure that we're studying our playbooks, studying the things that maybe we need to get better at, and really just try to get better every day. That's something that probably gets annoying from me saying, but that's really what my goal is, and I think the rest of our team is to get better, every time that we can.
As a football player in the NFL, and obviously you don't have a huge point of reference, but isn't it kind of an interesting process? You install, you practice, but when you get in the preseason, you really use so little of what it is that you're going to be doing later on that, it's 10% of your practice time. You do 100% of the plays in the preseason. The 90% of the practice time is what you're going to do in the regular season.
Honestly, we're just with what we have in practice, we're trying to get better.
Yeah.
And with what we have in games, we're trying to get better.
The meat and potatoes, though, at the preseason is an interesting process for me because everyone's trying to hide what they really do.
I'm that's not a concern for me. I haven't really thought about it that way.
Okay.
More so what I've thought about is any time that I'm out on the field, I'm going to try to do my job to the best of my abilities and try to get better every day.
What makes Tom Brady in terms of preparation and then his play on Sunday?
He's obviously a pretty decent quarterback, and he has a lot of experience in defenses, everything that is. He's a great quarterback, and he's obviously a lot of help on the field for you.
What was your first welcome to the Patriots Tom Brady moment? Because I know at some point you probably told you were doing something wrong, whether it was practice or during a game. What was your first welcome to the Patriots moment?
I don't know if there was a first moment, with Tom, him yelling at me or whatever. I've just, when I got here, I noticed Tom Brady, obviously, but he goes to work just like everyone else, and that's what I try to do. Try to go to work and try to do my job. But I don't think there was one moment that really stuck out.
Is there an advantage to being your size? We were talking to Ben Jarvis about blitz pickup when it comes to the nickel situations, when it comes to recognizing the blitz and B, picking up those kind of things.
I don't know. People a lot of times may say
you're harder to find.
Maybe, I don't know. I'm not as tall, but I don't know if there's any advantage, disadvantage, whatever it may be, because I still have to go through what I'm supposed to do on each play. So I don't know if there's really an advantage. I just try to go out and do my job.
What was your reaction when the Patriots signed your old friend Sean Ellis?
I saw that we signed him, obviously, and that he's a great player, and we're just gonna go to work every single day. That's just what we're gonna try to do every day.
Does it add to the rivalry with the Jets, in your opinion?
I don't know, man. That's the last.
Yeah, right.
That's the last thing.
It already has, actually. You might not comment on it, Danny, but it already has. A little back and forth.
Hey, I'm honestly, that's the last thing I'm worried about is that. I'm more so worried about going out and having a good practice today.
How is the offensive line this season with Logan Mankins here for a full training camp? I got to believe that's a huge advantage for you guys.
It's always good to have everyone to get working together. I obviously wasn't here last year at that time, so I don't know all the everything that went on, but everyone working together, trying to get better on a daily basis is always a good thing.
As sort of the new guy last year, did you gravitate towards any one person, anyone, either a newer player or a veteran that you sort of find yourself drawn to, either by circumstances or necessity?
I think the whole locker room was great to me. Very welcoming. The coaching staff, the front office, everyone in the organization made my transition very easy. So that was a great thing about the team is I was able to come in and feel welcomed right away.
What's Chad like as a teammate?
He's been a great teammate, and I think we have a lot of great teammates in that locker room, and I think that's how it's gonna be.
This offense, obviously, so impressive last year. Matter of who was going to make the next big play, and it really doesn't matter. If you're a new guy, a young guy, an old guy, your tight ends and yourself made the amount of plays that you guys made last season. Is that one of the successes, one of the real trademarks of it, is that you come out of the huddle every play and there's no real ego to it as far as who's going to make the play?
Oh, we're not worried about, who's scoring or who's catching balls, who's running it. We're more concerned about doing our job. And speaking for myself, but I think the rest of the team, also the rest of the offense, we just want to go out and do our job. In any given play, you never know what that job is.
How good, how dynamic can this passing attack be this year? How much pressure, to Randy's point, you think about your skill sets and Wes Welker and Chad and obviously Dion, the tight ends. I'm just mesmerized by how dynamic and diverse they are. Offensive line is better, in my opinion, than what it was a year ago. How much pressure can you put on the opposition's defense? How good can you guys be in that passing attack?
It's really early. We're in training camp right now, so we're just trying to get better right now. Hopefully we can have a good offense, and I mean that's what we're striving for. But really.